you told me a story, and correct me if I'm wrong. There was an employee that you were wondering who, like, he wasn't doing anything, but there was always it always showed that he's on the keyboard or something. And you
Oh,
found out you put on some
yeah.
keyboard stroke thing or something like
During
that, and
COVID.
he was just
Yeah.
that was because they were working from home or
Yeah.
something like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
whatever.
I
And
remember.
apparently just hitting like one key like all day long or
Dude.
something. Tell me that story because that
Yeah.
story never that always sat with me.
He was a good guy. He just was lazy. And
Yeah.
so I have this guy, he's a good friend of mine. His name is Ian. He built Salesforce for us.
Oh
We
wow.
did a demo of Litify, and they wanted like $250 a user each month. And you have 50 users. That's a lot of money each month
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
software.
For sure.
My previous software was called Act by Sage. It was
Mhm.
$200 for the forever or
The
something.
whole
It was
thing.
like dirt cheap. Like I was
Uh-huh.
like, how does this, you know, um, so anyways, maybe it was like, I don't know, it was like $100 a year per person. And you
Yeah.
only needed half the licenses. They didn't, anyways. So he was like, oh, I could build Litify for you. It's just Salesforce. All they do is white label Litify on top of Salesforce. So I was like,
Mhm.
really? I didn't believe him. And he built it for me and it looked beautiful. And this was like 6 months before the pandemic, something like
Mhm.
that. So we had this ability with him and my awesome IT guy, Neil. We had this ability to go remote, like snapping the fingers, and we went remote. So when the pandemic hit, I said, hey guys, I don't want anybody to die on my watch. Like, we don't pay you enough to die. So go home and work,
Yeah.
bring your laptop and go home and work. Take your work monitors. Everybody's got 2 monitors, take them home and work. And so everybody did that. And we got this software called ActiveTrack. And ActiveTrack is this awesome piece of software for any law firm, any business, and it shows you productivity. And basically, this guy was working from home, and his job, I think he was to send out reduction letters. So like a doctor bills 10,000, we ask the doctor to take a piece of that, not the full 10,000, so our client can put more money in their pocket.
That's what we do all day.
Right.
We do
And you guys do a
reductions for
phenomenal job. You
patients.
guys have gotten me, like, I'm talking about with the easy ones,
Yeah,
but like
yeah, of course.
hospitals and Medicare,
Yes.
you guys have
Yes.
done this incredible job for us. I want to thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
So this is like on the easy ones with like a
Yeah, yeah.
chiropractor or an MRI center or whatever. And instead of sending them out, he's like, hey, instead of saying, hey, I finished my work, can I get more? Didn't do any of that. He found a device. So the first day, it said that he was 0% productive, right? 0%, but he was on the computer. And we're like, hey, listen, bud, it says you're not working. Your computer's on, but you're not working. And he's like, oh, that's so strange. I don't know. That's weird. So the second day, he downloaded this thing called a mouse jiggler. And basically, like, it's you have your mouse here and it just jiggles back and forth digitally. So your mouse goes from here to here to here to here, here, like that.
Oh
And
my
so
God.
we have ActiveTrack, and it's like, yeah, this guy was 100% productive the next day. And I'm like, that can't be. So on ActiveTrack, it'll tell you. And it said that this guy used a jiggler. And I'm like, what a piece of shit. Like, we called him out the first day for not working. So instead of just working, he decides he's going to do this. So when we had to do the 10 people layoff thing that my lawyer
Oh, he was one of them.
he was in that group for sure. Um, Not a bad guy. It's just like work ethic,
Yeah.
it just comes down to work ethic. And, but the best part was his excuse, like, when you get caught with your pants down and you're like, dude, I'm sorry, bro. This man said that he put the mouse in his pocket and that's why it must have been doing this weird thing on the screen. And I'm like, if your mouse is in your pocket, how the hell are you working, you dummy? Like, why would you say that? Yeah, my keyboard and mouse was in my pocket. Like, obviously you're not working either way, dummy. But good guy, just one of those things that, like, people want to play the game sometimes instead of doing the work. And you asked me earlier, I remember when I first started, dude, I worked 24 hours a day some days. I worked 15 hours a day often, but sometimes I ran the clock. I just kept working and working because I had
Yeah.
shit to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't say like, oh, it'll get done later, I'll do this later. Like, no, my clients needed stuff, I got it done, dude.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of attitude that people want in their lawyer.
Yeah.
If you're doing PIP suits, they want to get their money collected. If you're doing a personal injury case, they want their phone answered, you know?
Hmm.
And so it just comes down to work ethic. But that was I got a million crazy stories like that
That
with these
was
guys.
that
But
that story
yeah.
was classic. Because when you think of stuff like that, it's like, when people are criminals, and you say, like high level criminals are very intelligent. It's
Hmm.
just if they actually put their mind to doing the right thing,
Yeah.
they would be just as successful if they were doing stuff
Right.
legally. But they
Right.
put their
I
mind
know.
on doing the quick fix, the quick money, the quick win,
Yeah.
and it's just like that. He was so into it, like that's like, what was that? What was it? Ingenuity, or what was the word? I mean, he's
Yeah.
thinking like, okay, how do I get around this? I got an app that's gonna make my
Yeah.
mouse move, and this is like, if you actually put the effort into the work, like you could be like,
He probably spent more time figuring this out. This was before AI. You had to go to like
yeah,
Reddit. You had to type
yeah,
in, "Hey, this is how they do things. They called me out. What do I do?" You had to wait for a response. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, good guy. It just comes down to work ethic, man.